as we came on air, it's a done deal. It's as good as done. It's as good as done.
Yeah,
Tottenham. Everton and Tottenham, meantime, have agreed a deal for Richarlison to go from Everton to Tottenham.
Yep.
50 million quid fee with 10 million pounds in add-ons, set to be confirmed. We understand it today.
Yep.
As we know, Everton weakened as a seller in this market, Simon, due to their financial situation regarding FFP. Well, they've had huge losses. They've agreed allowable losses with the Premier League, but those are higher than other clubs.
But they're getting top money. They've agreed allowable adjustments to be able to get themselves in a situation where they're not being sanctioned under FFP because they've come under the 105 million losses.
Yeah.
But I think they've got top money for Richarlison. I think Everton are selling players to meet the expectations of a player wanting to leave because he's had his head turned by a Tottenham Hotspur, and B, because they're getting decent money, and C, they can redeploy it now. So I don't think they've had their pants pulled down on the price.
No, but true. But because of the huge losses and they've agreed allowable losses, they were under pressure to sell. Nonetheless,
I don't think that's true. I think the allowable losses. The big concern for Everton was if they didn't go below the 105 million in a 3-year cycle, they were going to get sanctioned. Now they've been half sanctioned because they're looking at their transfer activity. And I think if they were selling Richarlison for 30 million quid, then the argument would be you are getting pressured to sell. They're not getting pressured to sell. They're taking economic deals. They're looking at Richarlison going, is £50 million decent money for a player that scored X amount of goals for us? It's probably on our balance sheet for 15 million quid. We paid 35 million quid for him, and he probably wants to go to Spurs. And if he raises to 60, we've done a good deal. Now we can go back to the Premier League and say, well, we've got 50, 60 million in. We've booked 40 million pound worth of profit on this, and we're going to spend 30 of it on players.
So you don't think at the moment, because of the situation, Everton are not there to be exploited by other clubs?
No, I don't think they're being exploited. I think they're taking advantage of the travails they've got themselves into, but I don't think they're being forced to sell players undervalued. Do you think okay, let me ask you, do you think Richarlison is worth more than 50, 60 million quid?
No, I don't. I agree with you. I think it's a very good deal. As you rightly say, it appeared that the boy wanted to go anyway. So what's he going to do for Conte? What will he do with Tottenham under Antonio Conte? I wonder how Tottenham fans feel about that. Evertonians, how do you feel about Richarlison, who was a bit of a poster boy for you? Of course, that picture went viral when he picked up the blue flare and threw it towards a corner of the ground. That went everywhere. He has a lot of fans up on Merseyside with Everton. How do you feel about him going south to Tottenham? 03717223344 810 89. Contract talks being opened with Jordan Pickford and Everton, England's number one. I wonder how that's going to work out, Simon. Will he be respected in those contract talks as the England goalkeeper and be paid as such?
Depends what respect means. If respect means to Jordan Pickford that he gets precisely what he wants or he's off, right? That's not respect. That's not a negotiation. He had a really good season last year. And at the back end of the season, he was one of the vanguards of the reasons why they pulled themselves out of trouble, because some of the performances in games, and he's been given lots of criticism previously. He's been told that he's a wild, a hot-headed individual that needs to be more focused on certain aspects of his game than others. But last year, it's undeniable. So as England's goalkeeper, he should be paid, if he's the best in England and he's and available to Everton to sign a new contract, he should be remunerated to a level commensurate with his position, which is the number one goalkeeper in the national side. But it doesn't mean he gets precisely what he wants, because that's not a discussion.
I agree. But I think when you look at the two situations there, I would think
he's worth keeping.
You would argue it's much more important keeping Pickford than it is to keep Richarlison. Is goodbye Richarlison for exactly as you described the 50, 60 million that they've got.
But it depends, if someone comes in and says to you, we want to buy Jordan Pickford for 75 million quid, like Liverpool said about Alisson when they bought Alisson, and you can go and get Sam Johnson from West Brom on a free transfer like Crystal Palace did, then you just look at those economics and say which makes sense. But I think Everton should be wanting to keep him, because a goalkeeper, as has been proven by both Man City's acquisition of Ederson and Liverpool's acquisition of Alisson, that have been so important to their development, Pickford is part of Everton's opportunity to rebuild the carcass of a team that they've currently got.
Interestingly, on Everton, before we get to the first break, we're trying to get through so much this morning. Should you read too much, Simon, into previous business dealings of prospective new football owners? Now, this gentleman, Maciek Kaminski, this very wealthy fellow over in Minneapolis, the commercial property firm run by him, we understand this morning from reports, defaulted on loans, and auditors raised doubts about its future. the company's financial documents have now revealed. Don't worry about Kaminsky and his company, we are assured, because a spokesman for Kaminsky overnight declined to comment, but a source close to the family insisted they have many different companies and investment vehicles that they use to manage their money and assets, and that the financial commitment to Everton would not, quotes, touch the sides of their wealth.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to judge.
They've got a right few quid.
I mean, success is an iceberg, isn't it? You only see the top part of it, and all the failures are beneath the water, right? And everyone in life, right? Yeah. Everybody in life has had really good times and really bad times. To the very top of the tree, to the bottom. You judge people by where they are now. If people have got bad character and have got a persistent and consistent track record of acting in an immoral, unprofessional, a manner which isn't in keeping with owning an asset of a football club in this country, then yes, you judge it by that. But I think business failings, you show me someone that's never failed and I'll show you someone that's never tried anything.
No, true.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.